Madhab of Imam Shafi'i, he said, the awrah for men was between his navel and his knees. Okay? Alright. That's for what? In Shafi, whether you are in Salah, whether you're doing tawaf, whether a man in front of men or any strange woman, he must cover himself between the navel and the knees. That's the Shafi'i view for men. Easy. What is it based on? It's based on the hadith, same hadith as Ahnaf was, their madhab is based on. And I discussed that Al-Harith bin Abi Umama from Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, the awratul mu'mini ma bayna surratihi ila rukbatayhi, or kama qal. Okay? And at the same hadith, same dalil they have for as others for the fakhid. We discussed the thighs, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi saying to a Sahabi, Jarhad al-Aslami, غطي فخذك فإن الفخذ عورة. Cover your thighs because thighs are awrah. Okay, so the dalil is same as the dalil for Ahnaf. Okay, the navel itself is not awrah. The awrah is under it. Okay, itself the navel is under it. Where it ends, the awrah starts below it. Yeah. Okay. The point I want to discuss today mainly regards awrah is the knees for Ahnaf are awrah, right? They are awrah. For other madhahib, knees themselves are not awrah. But what happens is the thigh is fully in awrah. So at what point do you stop covering the thighs that your salah is well? Well, you got to cover all of it. So you must cover some of the knees. If you don't cover any of the knees, then you will reach the thighs because they are merged into each other. So for that reason, Ahnaf say full knee is part of the awrah. But those who don't consider knee as part of the awrah, they consider it because of it being the neighbor of the thigh. So they say some of it must be covered. Clear? And it's still wajib to cover the knees. Why is that? We'll discuss that as well. So that is a rule. A student should know a rule. Okay? Something. This is a good rule to remember. Something which when a wajib cannot be done in absence of something, when a wajib cannot be established in absence of something, then that thing also becomes wajib. When something is wajib, but it can't be done with something else, then that thing also becomes wajib. Now, you can't really expose the knees because thighs and knees are into each other. So you have, until you cover some of the knees or the beginning of the knee, you can't cover the thighs really. So because thighs are wajib, knee automatically become wajib because of it. Now whether you cover all of it or some of it, that's a discussion in fiqh. Ahnaf, they say all of it. Others say at least some of it. But the rule is, when you can't do something without, in absence of other thing, the other thing also becomes wajib if this thing is wajib. Am I making sense? Am I making sense to you? Kind of. It making sense? Okay, good. Some scholars have then said that the view of Malikis, that thigh is not awrah. is not accepted for the same reason. Okay, they say the thigh is awra khafifa compared to the ghalidha, but because it being attached to ghalidha, then that also becomes ghalidha, and that's an argument in fiqh against each other basically. So they say the view that thigh is not an awra cannot be accepted, and especially due to the hadith, cover your thighs because thigh is awra. Okay, and it's a rule accepted that if a wajib cannot be done without something, then it also becomes wajib. Then thigh is more emphasized as an awra, because what is against the other side? So thigh is more emphasized than awra, and it's more emphasized than knees. The Malikis, they take the hadith of Anas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, which we discussed last time, that in the battlefield, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam thigh was touching him without a cover, right? So other madhab, they say they can't use that as a proof. You cannot use that as a proof, because a one-off incident can have a reason for it to occur. There is a possibility there was a reason why that happened, but it cannot be weighed against a clear hadith saying your thigh is awra, cover it. Alright? Then you may say, what about the hadith when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Abu Bakr came in and his thigh was uncovered, and then Umar came in, he asked permission, he came in, and then and then when Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhu came in, he covered his thighs, right? The answer is, this hadith has other wording as well. I believe in Muslim, where it doesn't say fakhid, it says saq. It's the saq was showing. The ankle, the what do you call this? Ankle? Calf, yeah. This part was showing below the knee. Because now this hadith has two versions available, it cannot be weighed against the hadith which says your thigh is awra. Alright? Okay, that's everything I want to discuss on. Shafi'i madhab is not much different to what we have discussed. Nothing new in that. And same for women, except the hands and except the face, all of the body of the a woman is awra. Ahnaf said the feet, the zahir of it, what you can see, if you are standing on the floor, what's visible. Ahnaf say that's not awra, but other three madhab say that's awra. The bottom, the batin which hits the floor is not awra. Okay, that's not awra for any madhab. But the Ahnaf say the top part of the feet, that's not awra, and Shafi'is say it is awra like the other madhab. Okay, and they also say if awra or some of it became uncovered when it was possible to avoid it, when awra becomes uncovered for women except her hand and face, any of her clothing revealed any part of the body, when it was possible for her to cover her, that would invalidate her salah. Okay, and for men as well, same. If awra became uncovered, it will invalidate salah. But like we said for the other madhab, if it was out of his control and he was quick to correcting himself, he was very quick, then the salah will not be invalidated. But if he was lazy and he didn't cover himself quickly, then salah would be invalidated. Nowadays we have people wearing trousers for some reason nearer to the knees than their waist. When people drag, these people who are not careful, if they go on ruku or sujood and their awra is shown, they are not from the people who are excused. Wearing clothes when you have the ability to wear correctly, you wear incorrectly, that doesn't excuse you. Okay, excuse is when it's not, your button broke and the trouser fell down, you picked up straight away, that's fine. But the one who is hanging his trouser halfway down his thighs, what are we going to do with this man? Okay. And for women, Shafi says, Awrah in front of strangers and non-Muslim women, non-Muslim men and women, and Muslim men is all her body. She must cover all her body. But in front of Muslim women who are close relatives, okay, and those family member like father and the son and close relatives, which mahram, her awrah is relaxed, okay, but still navel to knees, even for her in front of her own child she cannot reveal, okay, but a bit except between spouses, husband and wife. Did that make sense? Okay. Her awrah in front of strangers, okay, and non-Muslim men, non-Muslim men, or non-Muslim women is all her body, okay, men or women which are stranger men and non-Muslim men and women is all her body. But in front of Muslim women and mahram man, it is relaxed, but still navel to knees is strictly prohibited to be shown to anyone. Clear? And now quickly we go through the madhab of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal on awrah, satr of awrah. Again, they say under the navel. This is for men. From under the navel and note above the knees. Under the navel and everything above the knees is awrah for men. Okay? Knees itself is not awrah in Hanafi, the Hanbali madhab. The knees itself is not awrah, but some of the scholars, they say that because thigh needs to be covered, so some of the knees must be covered. Where do you stop covering the knee until you show your thigh? There is no line between knees and thigh. So in order to cover all the thigh, to be sure some of the knees should be covered. Okay? Hanabila have a very unique perspective. They say when possible, men should have at least one of their shoulders covered. So if one has only one cloth, he should then adjust it between his, meaning if someone has a cloth not long enough, then obviously he needs to cover the what's between the navel and the knees first. But if it's a long cloth, then he should at least, they say that it is in the hadith that it should come around your shoulder if it's one long cloth. And in regards to awrah being uncovered, Hanabila, they excuse a very light, they excuse a very light unintended exposure. That's the word, Jazakallah khair. Hanabila, they excuse unintended exposure of awrah, and if it's corrected quickly, it does not invalidate salah. Okay, it has to be unintended, it has to be just a little bit, and has to be corrected when a person has the control to do it. If a lot has been exposed, then he must cover straight away. If not, the salah is invalid. But if he covers straight away, still salah is valid. Okay? And women, same as Shafi'is, or what we said before, no different. Face, hand, and the bottom of the feet is not awrah, the rest is in salah. Good, we're going to finish the Satr al-Awrah here. Any question? I want to move on to the next chapter.